Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your tarot card reading for June 2024. It is a fantastic big month, everyone. June is huge. We have Jupiter now in Gemini. We have the sun through there. We've got Venus. We've got Mercury racing through. We're going to have the activation of Cancer later on. We've got Mars in Taurus. So there's going to be a lot of activity that goes on. It's going to be a fantastic month to really see progress, to see developments, to see and feel that true sense of hope that these manifestations, that this lifestyle that you are hoping to cultivate is actually and truly possible for you. So I think generally speaking, there are going to be a lot of really wonderful things that happen for the most part. And there's going to be this new sense of revival that kind of rushes through everything. So I think it's going to be a fantastic month. So as you're watching these tarot card readings, you are free to watch for either your sun, moon, or rising sign. However, when I do reference transits, probably the rising sign is going to be the most accurate in terms of house placement. So just keep that in mind. Another really quick little thing, I'm going to be starting to post really short dailies on YouTube. I've already been posting them on Instagram and TikTok, and I just really wanted to incorporate these on YouTube as well. 1 to 2 minute daily astrology, daily tarot card pulls. So if you really want to make sure that you hit those, please make sure to subscribe, hit the little bell so you get the notification every time those get posted. Those will probably get started June 1st. Okay, so just FYI on that. Also, the comprehensive readings, we go really, really in deep in these comprehensive readings every month. We get a whole second reading. So if you want to join for that, you are more than welcome. All the information on how to access those are going to be found on the pinned comment down below. I'll pin a comment there, and you can also find it in the description box too. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much. I love you. Have a great month, and I'll talk to you soon. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your June reading. Now, I already had these cards pulled out, and then my cats got in a fight and knocked my tripod over. But I wanted to keep these because they did organically come out for you. So we're just going to keep them, and we will take a look here and get started. So we start off with the Elk Spirit, and this says, "Stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what, and others will treat you with the respect that you deserve." So right out of the gate, this is a message of just being in your power, okay? And then the other card we got came out, says self-love. And I love that these came out together because there is this quality of just being in your, dignity, right? That word, the being in your dignity, being in your grace, being in your value, and not shrinking and not hiding and just really showing up for yourself in all of the absolute best ways. And if you have felt like you've been meandering or wandering, or if things have not necessarily felt very linear, I feel like things are going to start to shift, okay? Because we have your ruling, a very rare transit for Sagittarius, okay? Very, very rare. Jupiter is coming into Gemini, which is opposite of you. It is not every day that Sagittarius goes through an opposition with their ruling planet. Okay, so this is a really big transit for you, and you're going to start to feel that pull. And these oppositions sometimes have like a kind of a Saturnine type of quality sometimes. Now, I'm not saying you can't have the benefits of Jupiter. There can definitely be a lot of really wonderful things that come through, but I also am kind of feeling a lot of structure coming out as well. And I'm kind of feeling like strong boundaries are going to be getting set in place. There's going to be kind of a new rule book in place for Sagittarius. You're playing by different rules, and I think you're demanding that you play life a little differently, and therefore other people need to deal with you in a different kind of way too. The way they talk to you, the way they take your time, whatever the case may be. So I am feeling like a really strong, empowerment, and it will change the way you move forward. It will change the way you deal with people. It will change the way you make decisions as well. And I think having a big vision, and I look at this elk and I'm kind of seeing a more majestic figure, and I'm seeing kind of a leader type of energy as well, where Sagittarius, maybe it's just you for you. I'm not saying you're leading anybody else, but if it's you for you, I think that's enough, right? Leading yourself into a future that resonates with who it is you ultimately want to become. And to have that grand vision, to have that big dream, because it's Jupiter, right? With big, you want to have the big dream. You want to have the ambitions. You want to have the things that you're going after. And I think that's going to give Sagittarius a sense of grounding and a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose. And when you're carrying yourself with dignity and self-respect and you start changing the rules, your whole world changes. And I think you are going to start to exhibit some really big transformations this year, starting now. Okay, really, really meaningful ones. All right, so Four of Wands. There is something about stability coming out for me, just intuitively, like finding stability, finding grounding, finding a sense of, like I say, meaning and purpose, and it's not just going to be so meandery anymore. And really being around people that do mean something to you. Being around family members, being around loved ones, establishing yourself, and finding so much enrichment from those experiences. And don't get me wrong, the Four of Wands is fun. Like, this is a really fun celebratory card. I'm not saying it's boring or you're never going to travel again or whatever. I'm just saying, it's nice to have that root system. And I feel like there's a connection with the earth too, a little bit, really connecting with earth, connecting with family, connecting with meaning, connecting with spirit. And it's like kind of like new levels of connection that you haven't tapped into yet. I'm not saying you were never capable or anything. It's just you haven't experienced it yet. There's something very enriching about that. And from those roots, so many things can blossom and grow. And I look at this Magician card and I see creativity and passion and power and new ideas, especially with Jupiter and Gemini. Not only that, we've also got Mercury racing through there. He's moving super fast. We've got Venus in there. We've got the Sun in there for the first part of the month. So just Gemini energy in general is really creative and courageous. And there's lots of ideas and brainstorming that can come through during this time. And it's like the more grounded you are, the more you can launch, right? Because in order to launch more, you have to push down harder, right? You kind of have to have that force. So you have to have that rooting force. And that rooting force can be, your sense of just authority within yourself, your sense of authenticity, again, your sense of meaning and purpose. I'll probably keep saying that throughout the course of the reading. That seems to be a theme for you. All right. But really having that can just propel you in so many different ways. And with the World card, this is what I mean by the transformation. Like something is really turning over. And I don't know that this is going to be very perceivable. Okay, that's one thing to keep in mind. Like as we're going through June, in the beginning, like you may be watching this and be like, okay, but my life is kind of the same. I don't really know what she's talking about. The World can be kind of sneaky. It just sort of happens. It's like suddenly you're just kind of crossing this threshold. Suddenly things are just different. Suddenly the rule book changes. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily kind of an obvious type of thing. And I don't think things are going to be very obvious to us this month. I really don't. That seems to be a theme across the board. It's not going to be perceivable. It's not going to be in our face. It's just going to be like a feeling or a sense. And we just start being different. We just start talking differently and behaving differently and doing different types of things. And we start wanting different types of things. And suddenly what we wanted 6 months ago, we don't want so much anymore, And so this is what I mean by finding that grounding and finding that root system, because it's so important to launch from that and to have that support, to have that network, to have those people, to have that security. Because the Magician, I think, really wants to take you really far. Jupiter across from you wants you to expand like crazy. And it's all going to start now, and it's all going to start with ideas. So you got to get ready for these ideas. You got to get ready for the spinning and for the brainstorming and for this to come in and that to come in. And it's all like going to come in at you. And there's going to be kind of a bombardment of stuff. But over the course of time, over the course of probably June and July and on into August a little bit, you're going to be sifting through all of this. And you're going to be cherry picking the things that really align with where it is you're going. Okay, and what you want to accomplish with your life and what your ambitions truly are. So you're going to want to really be available for that. So we have the Page of Swords. What else for Sagittarius? So we make our way through June. Coins and the Fool. Okay. Well, I love the Fool and the Magician coming out. It does speak to initiation. Okay, like you're kind of being initiated, if I could say that. And that makes sense with the Fool and the World, the beginning and the end. I mean, it is substantial, like where you are. This point in life is meaningful. And while a big chapter is closing with the World card, another big chapter is opening with the Fool. And there's going to be all sorts of new obstacles and all sorts of new problems and all sorts of new ideas and all sorts of new things with that Fool card. But it's really more about being prepared for it at this juncture. Okay? And even the Page of Swords, like there does seem to be an element of humility when the pages come out. Like it's not a very arrogant or haughty type of energy. It's, I'm willing to learn. I'm ready to break free. I'm ready to communicate. My mind is open. I'm available. There's a lot of availability here, and so it's kind of like you take on that student mind, you take on that childlike wonderment, and that's perfect for Gemini season. Like we want to be curious. We want to be asking questions. We want to be making little connections here and there and here and there. And, we want to be traveling and touching things and kind of experiencing and experimenting with things all across the board. We don't want to be rigid. We don't want to be locked in, but also at the same time, like there's a power with that elk spirit. There's the self-love. So yes, there are still boundaries and there are still rules and things like that. But I think your general essence, the essence of your mind is just very childlike, which makes you more receptive with the magician stuff. And it makes you a little bit more available to receive those really great ideas that you can take and run with and build and make money and do all sorts of things with. Because when I look at this 5 of coins in the very center of the reading, and again, we'll pull out 3 more cards, but this will be in the center of the reading, it does speak to kind of a tough place. It speaks to a place of pain or scarcity or lack of fulfillment, kind of sometimes a victim mentality, being broke, being unhealthy, not being in a place where you feel your best, not being in a place where you're able to thrive. And sometimes we can like run away from this and we can try to avoid it. Sometimes we sit in it and fester and we do all, there's all different ways that we can cope with the 5 of coins. But I think this being in the center suggests that everything has really culminated and it is now circulating around this 5 of coins, and you can either sink or swim at this point. And I don't think Sagittarius has in any mood or has any desire to sink. I think Sagittarius would much prefer to propel, like to launch, because that's what everything else is suggesting. That's what a card that says self-love would suggest. I am kind of feeling a social element, especially with the 4 of Wands and the 5 of coins. Like you're going to have to be really, really cognizant of the people that are kind of souring the experience, the people that are causing strife. There are people that are whining or complaining. Like these are probably the people with whom you need to exert the most boundaries, right? You need to set those boundaries a little bit more firmly. You're going to need to demand that they don't bring that kind of attitude around you. You're going to need to demand that they don't whine and complain around you. Like I feel like there's a sensitivity, like Sagittarius is very sensitive to people who are in their Five of Coins stuff too. And again, it's not that you're running away from it. It's not that you don't love them and you don't care about them. It's just like you don't want to be in that state and you're trying to not be in that state. So it does feel like Sagittarius is kind of like, get that away from me. I'm trying to get away from it. I'm not trying to dive in. I'm trying to break free from it. I don't want to keep it in my life. This is what I want to change. This is why I am where I am. Because I allowed that Five of Coins too much power and I'm just not willing to do that anymore. Another page. Okay. I mean, the fact that the major arcana that we got, the last major arcana card, number 21, and then 0 and then 1, really like this is the, the real focal point of the reading is that there is a important chapter of your life closing out and another important one opening up, which obviously makes sense with Jupiter opposite of you. But, there's kind of this quality of just the transition, and then everything else is just more day-to-day type of business. Sorry for all the shadows. I don't have a curtain on my window. I always forget that the sun comes in this time of year. But it really is like a day-to-day type of deal. Pages are very present, very in the moment. They're getting their hands dirty. We have a lot of that student energy, they're learning, they're in the zone, they're in the process of things. So even though there is this big transitioning happening, still in the day-to-day, you're still making basic decisions. You're living your life like normal. It's going to feel normal. Like it won't, but it will. It's like you can tell something's going on, but also not really. But also the excitement of that magician, the excitement and enthusiasm of the fool, they're going to kind of leech in and say, okay, it's time for, to me to learn this new skill or to take this skill and leverage it in a new kind of way. It's time for me to, enhance a current skill that I already have to make myself more valuable, and again, it's all for the sake of this big vision. Now, if you don't have a vision, which I assume you do. I feel like you would have to if you've been in a Five of Coins. If you've been in a Five of Coins state of scarcity or lack or sadness or whatever, if you've been there, you know definitely at least what you don't want, right? You don't like being in that place, and you know what the opposite of that is. So you do have some semblance of an idea. But if you really don't, if you haven't really thought about it, do it now. Like this is the time, right now. June is it, because this is going to really open you up and say, you can really go in any direction you want, Sagittarius. You can go left, you can go right, up, down, or all around. It doesn't matter. Like, which direction do you want to go? And when you say, you know what, I want to go that direction, this one, in my intuition, in my heart, in my spirit, that direction makes the most sense to me. And I think you can feel good, right, with the elk spirit. Stand tall, maintain your dignity. You don't have to second guess yourself. You don't have to doubt. You don't have to waver and go back and forth and hem and haw. Like, you don't have to do that. I don't normally say that with my Sagittarians anyway, but you don't have to do any of that if that's the case. And you don't have to settle, and you don't have to, be in the middle. You can just say, I'm going to go in that direction, and I'm going to try it, and I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to put my all into it. And I'm going to show up because I am practicing my self-love, right? I'm going to show up. I'm going to be in my dignity. I'm going to be in my self-respect. And we are going to make it happen. And with that Eight of Cups, it says you're moving into a very uncomfortable territory. The Eight of Cups is one of the more underrated, difficult cards. Like, I rarely see this card being easy. It's not an easy card. Okay? And I think sometimes we need that reminder that this process is not for the faint of heart, because there are going to be some Sagittarians that just kind of keep their life the same. But I think people who are watching, tarot and astrology videos, they're people who genuinely want to improve. They're people who genuinely want to, have some semblance of control in their life, and they want to change and evolve, because that's what we do here. We learn, we change, we evolve. So it is uncomfortable. And usually when we go through these transitions, it's not comfortable. And that's why the grounding and the rooting and being like secure in certain areas of your life, emotional security, financial, all of that, being secure is so critical, because that's what's going to make you feel safe to move on with the Eight of Cups. Because when you're especially grounded in yourself and living in that authentic soul-driven place, you're not going to be afraid of not having kind of a safety net. But I am kind of seeing, you spreading your wings and flying a little bit. I'm definitely seeing you flying. And there's something very beautiful about that. Something beautiful to be said about that. Okay? I do see success. I will tell you that, because usually with the Fool there is success, but I think it's also still too early to say how or when, that kind of thing. I think it's still too early to say. And I've been saying that for months. Like, we're not going to really know all that much in this first part of the year. We're just not in that place to really know for sure how things are really going to go. So we have to take these leaps of faith. We have to take these steps. We have to take these actions, because when we take these actions, then we start to get the ball rolling, and then we have more clarity at that point. Okay, so it's okay if you're not entirely clear in the path itself, because you don't have to have clarity in the path. What you have to have is clarity within yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and take out the clarifiers now. So we're going to do like a whole separate reading, okay, another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards I'm about to pull out. We cover those in the comprehensive reading, and the link for that is in the description box and the pinned comment down below. If I could talk, the description and the pinned comment down below. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Let's go ahead and take a look then at the Four of Wands. What else does Sagittarius need to know about the Four of Wands? Let's see. Six of Cups, the Page of, another page, a lot of pages, and Death. Death matches the World card very well, I would say, and Wheel of Fortune. Okay, well, there is your indication of success and abundance in this journey. Okay, exactly with the Eight of Cups. Beautiful. And another officially got every single page. Two of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Tower. Five of Swords, Judgment, Five of Cups. The fives I am not liking. Not liking the fives. Justice. I feel like there are other people that you need to contend with. Yeah, another five. I'm not not vibing with those at all. Okay. The Moon. Strength. Yeah, I'll say. Strength and another page. High Priestess. Ace of Coins. Happy to see that for sure. Queen of Cups. Eight of Coins, Knight of Coins, Four of Coins, and last but not least, the Eight of Cups, beautiful, Ace of Wands, Ten of Swords. A little bit of drama this month, okay? Little drama. So we will talk about it. So if you want to join, again, link down below in the description box, pinned comment. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. I don't know what's going on with my tongue right now, but you guys know I love you. Have an amazing June, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.